God, it must be so exciting being an entertainment lawyer. Get to meet all the celebrities.
It beats working for a living.
He's in town to meet with Dick Wolf.
The sportscaster?
Actually, he's a TV producer. Special Victims Unit, Law and Order.
New York Undercover.
I used to
Shout
love
out to
that
New
show.
York Undercover.
So, Meadow, what business is your father in?
Sanitation.
Actually,
Yeah, waste
he's in
management.
waste management.
Ah, toxic chemicals, medical waste, that sort of thing?
All of it.
Yeah, sort of. Environmental cleanup. Told Caitlin if we went to the movies, I'd call her. Starting to feel bad.
I stopped feeling bad the second I saw that grade. Did I tell you my father's filing a restraining order against her?
What?
Wait, for real? Wait, what?
You're kidding, right?
You obviously don't know my father. He totally freaked when he heard about the C-.
That's some weirdo shit.
Couldn't you try talking to her first?
At this point,
Fuck you, asshole.
Oh, that's nice. Very nice. That's how you talk to a man in front of his friends?
Yeah, right. What man?
Oh, a double.
She said you let Sylvia come in there
I like this girl.
and regulate. Now he gonna go out there and...
Why was I born handsome instead of rich? What are you being like this for?
Fuck you. 3 days you don't call, even to see how I am.
Baby, I'm busy. I gotta work. How else am I gonna take care of you when you're 9 months pregnant?
You serious?
Of course I'm serious.
Ralphie, I love you.
I love you too, baby. Hey. If it's a boy,
What we gonna name him?
we'll name him after you. If it's a girl, we'll
Ralphie,
name her
you son of a
Tracy after
bitch.
you. This way she can grow up to be a cocksucking slob, just like her mother. Are you out of your fucking mind?
Get him, motherfucking piece of shit!
That's right. That's right. Get it all out. Get it all out, you little hooah.
You feel like a man?
And Silvio gonna be pissed off, not because he beat up a girl, because he beat up one of his workers. Motherfucker weird.
What happened to you? Oh, Tracy. She slipped. We were arguing, I don't know. She fell.
Y'all gotta deal with that motherfucker, man.
Fucking shit.
Look what that motherfucker did. Well, that's crazy.
Where is he? Inside. Go get him. She fell?
It's my story.
Stupid motherfucker. How fucking dare you?
Take it easy.
You don't think. You disrespect
He
this
does.
place.
He's stupid.
That's the reason why you were passed the fuck over.
It's my fault she's a klutz.
Yeah. Yeah.
You out of your fucking mind laying your hands on me? This is the boss of this family. Shut the fuck up. I'm a main guy. We gotta get you out of here.
Place open.
No. Fuck.
You got a rug, piece of carpet? Come on.
Man, that motherfucker Ralph.
Sucker was way out of line. 20 years old, this girl. That too.
What?
I think we need to talk.
I knew it was coming. I'm like, at what point is he gonna blame her for his grades?
I think that maybe we've been saying too much.
I thought he was gonna do that earlier.
I really like you, Meadow. It's just,
Turn up in that library. Slap some shit.
I don't think we should see
Flip
each
some.
other anymore.
Are you breaking up with me?
You're really that surprised. Honestly, you're too negative.
What?
You have this underlying cynicism about everything.
What are you talking about?
I really didn't want to get into this.
Underlying cynicism. Hold on. Maybe that comes from her family. Your father put a restraining order against a girl with mental issues because you got a C-. I don't want to hear shit about cynicism, dickhead. Fuck out of here. Hey, fuck you, Noah.
Sometimes even painful sessions can break the log jam.
Yes, and then this.
You're being particularly quiet today.
Sometimes I got nothing to say.
Anthony, Carmela is here. She's giving up her time to talk about your panic attacks.
A young man who worked for us, Borough Sanitation, he died.
Who?
Who? You don't know. He died, that's all. Sad when they go so young.
I was the dentist.
A girl around his daughter's age.
God,
Is there nothing to eat in this house?
There has to be. Well, your dad probably ate all the gabagool, so.
I heard she went outside with Ralphie and never came back.
Do yourself a favor. Keep what you hear to yourself.
Parties are usually Friday night. A lot of high rollers, a lot of big
They got a new chick taking his
One
spot.
in the VIP room,
Immediately.
$50 to me, plus a blowjob later on.
So I'm thinking about how I want to go into this one because there's, of course, multifaceted. That's how these episodes go on this show. All right. So first thing I want to say is for them to highlight Meadow at her age and then highlight Tracy at her age and show them at these two moments. And it's crazy how you could be put in different things in your life and stuff like that. You'll end up in a certain position where the stakes are completely different. Right? Think about that for a second. Both of those women are in the circumference of Tony Soprano, but one's his daughter and the other one is a worker. And look at what they were in the midst of. Now, of course, Meadow's situation is just what we would deem everyday life. You know, she meets a guy. We already saw how that was going to end up at a certain point when Noah got that grade. I was surprised he didn't immediately say, hey, it's you, but he was trying to get something else out of it, you know. Until he needed no more. He's like, hey, you know. But Noah was whack anyway. That motherfucker's lame, motherfucker. But that thing with her and Caitlyn is going through it, and it's getting worse and worse. Now she's shaking out her hair, and I wonder how that's going to be resolved if it does get resolved. Because, as I said, they go into the mentality of people all throughout this, and yeah, they take it to the extremes on the show, but to see what Caitlyn is, you know, it's, you know, like hyperbolic for what a lot of people who come from out of town. You either gonna end up like the chicks from Broad City. You see Broad City, that show? I fuck with Broad City heavy. Them chicks, they was from out of town, but they came and they was adjusted to shit. Or you gonna be like a chick like her, which is on the other extreme, where, you know, it wouldn't you normally go to that extreme. I wouldn't think. I'm assuming there are people who do, but usually it doesn't go to the extreme that Caitlyn has, where she just can't deal with what she's in. Right? It doesn't even make sense to her. It's just anxiety at all times. So it compounds on it. So it's not just that. It's, okay, now watch the movie. And so her mind just stays in that negative space. When that motherfucker Noah said that shit about cynicism to Meadow, I'm like, okay, I accept that as a trait from her. If there's one thing she got from Tony and from her mom and just from where she's been around, she should be that way. But for a motherfucker whose father would do what his father did, and with a straight face he goes, yeah, restraining order, you know, I got a C minus. It's like, shut the fuck up. You just, but that was what he used to get out of it. All right. So no big deal. Once again, like, that's going to be one of many. Right. So whatever. But then you got Tracy. Now, the fact she kept being nice to Tony, looking back at it, who knows how it was? Maybe because she had given him some, maybe because Tony had given her some advice. She saw him in this fatherly way, compounded with the fact he's the guy in charge. Maybe she was trying to get with him, right? I implied that, she's trying to get with him and Tony knows to watch out. It's not that I'm implying that she's trying to get with him. No matter what, Tony's guard is going to be up. He chooses the Gumar. They don't choose him, right? Like he can't play that, especially even now with the position he's in. So when one is pressing up on him heavy, on some worker shit, hey, you got to fall back. But then on some, I got to watch my back on this mob shit, right? But she really, like I said, there may be also the thing of he helped her in one space. This is a chick, broken background. She burning her kid with cigarettes and shit. And she said all that shit about how it came from some repressed shit from when she was a kid, right? She's real fucked up in a real fucked up situation. And Tony is who Tony is. He has to steer the ship, make sure everything stays a certain way. But he cares. He cares. 2 moments. She comes and tells him that she's pregnant. Once again, he gave her some advice and she's still, you're the only person I can talk to. It's like the nerve. You just go up to your boss. But as I said, there's something paternal about what that relationship is. He gave her advice, and also he's in charge. And I knew at that moment, oh, Tony's gonna, he shouldn't say something, but he's gonna say something. He's gonna give his advice. And he gave his advice, and that humanity is in Tony. I'm like, okay, makes sense that he did that. But when she didn't show up for work after Sylvia got her those braces, $3,000, it's an investment. Those is working girls, right? And me, I believe I talked about this on here. I ain't got no problem with that industry if it's done right and the women are protected. But when you beating up on shit, that's what could happen. And I'm glad they show that in here, because bada bing, them chicks along with the bada bing are just they ornamentation so far. So for them to take it to here and show, as I said, I'm like, damn, I didn't even consider. I've been watching this whole time. Never even considered they was pimping them. Like, I never even thought about it. I mean, I said stuff about the strippers and stuff, but never really got into that. But when you see this episode, you face with it, it's like, oh yeah, they pimping them. Silvio slapped up. This dude laughing. Okay, he hoeing whatever. Okay, like. But then she's hurt. And she's so adjusted to her situation. She not hurt because of the hoeing shit. She hurt because this motherfucker didn't call her. Right? Because Jeter got in her head and let her know, hey, this is how it is, ding. And so she believed, hey, he really loved. Now, this is how fucked up this motherfucker is, all right? We saw early in the episode, and I'm going to get back to that with Ralphie, how he is. But he said all that shit just to play her and be like, I don't love you and all that. And I'm like, at some point, he going to take it too far. He did. He beat it to death. Now, the thing with this Ralphie motherfucker is that, remember, this is not a gang. They got rules and regulations. If you are made to even touch a maid guy, it got to be like, we all got to agree on this. And if it's done, there's going to be repercussions to this, okay? When Tony gets to the point where he snuffs that motherfucker, it's because he had enough. He in there getting top, and the chick was going in too. I mean, that bitch was jackhammering that motherfucker. And let me fall back. Excuse me. God damn it. I'm talking to y'all too comfortable. I'm gonna have to edit that shit for YouTube. Excuse me. So he was in there receiving fellatio from the young lady, and Ralphie is out there doing the dumb shit he's doing. He's being a fucking dumbass. He's like acting like a chop, being weird. So Tony already got to deal with him. He passed him over. And the dude he keeps talking shit to the new boss, his crew. And that dude is like, he said it. Hey, one day that dude's going to end up in the trunk. Now notice that line. Not, I'm going to put him in the trunk. One day, hey, we got to get him out of there. Nah, they don't talk like that. These guys are made. One day that guy's going to put in the trunk, right? Okay. So, well, one day that guy's going to end up in the trunk. That motherfucker hits the guy. So now Tony got to deal with him. And now this guy comes over because Jackie's wife, she now go with him. And it's just this whole dumbass thing of this motherfucker, he can't just act normal. So when he beats that girl, there was multiple things that happened at that moment. Remember, I said that kind of summed up how that situation was in the world of the Sopranos and shit. When when Tony was like, she was 20 or something like that, and like 20 years old, and Paulie goes, oh yeah, and that too. Because from a business standpoint, this guy Ralphie, he's fucking up. Look what they gotta handle right now, right? Look what they gotta do. Everybody is just chilling. You dumb fuck. You caused an issue again. And Tony is pissed. Tony's not supposed to get his hands dirty or lay his hands on anyone, especially not a maid guy. He does it, and the motherfucking stupid bitch is yelling at Tony. This is how much of a dumbass he is. Look at the situation is in. And I'm a maid guy. He's still talking tough after he just did what he did, causing him all that issue. But then here's the second part. That girl was young. And Tony, his whole thing has been this whole time. He feels like he's losing the grasp. But like when it comes to the mob shit and his family life, like he's kind of losing the grasp. He like, God damn, I'm just trying to make things work. And he keep like, think about that family. You had Jackie, not family, but that crew. You had Jackie and Richie in that same family. Jackie had the cancer. That was hurt him hard. You got Richie come back. We know what he went through with him from the beginning. And then you got this guy who he's attached to that family still, right? And that crew. And the motherfucker, like another problem. And then you have the part of that chick was around the same age as his daughter. And she's gone. And it's not just that she's gone. He could not protect her. Forget the protecting her because it's the right thing to do. He couldn't protect her, and it was his job, and she was a worker. And then there's the other thing of, you can tell it really affected him. She was a young 20-year-old girl, and he couldn't protect her. Which is crazy, right? It sounds crazy because these chicks are getting pimped out. But do I want to say this? Pimps also see themselves, because I'm going to word it a certain way. Pimps also see themselves as the supreme protectors of their hoes, of their workers. So when something bad happens, like they'll shed a tear. And you're like, you shed a tear over a girl that you broke, but that's how it go. You understand? And I never heard about that portion of the show. That's why I kept bringing that up. I'm like, man, especially with today and the way discussions on women and how they were portrayed in the past has come up. I'd heard about Carmela. I've heard about Meadow. And then I'm looking at all this. I'm glad they showed this portion of the bada bing, because these women up until that point were just ornamentation. And it showed things in a certain way. And then to put it side by side with Meadow makes it all too real. And Caitlyn, right? Makes it all too real. Meadow, the thing about Carmela that's funny is she's like, yo, her whole thing is I gotta keep this going. You feel me? And when she said we might as well, what'd she say? Like, she insinuated something that, well, you know, might as well. She's like, what? Oh, she said, oh, y'all boyfriend or girl? I can't remember what it was, but she said at this point, might as well. And the mom was like, at what point? We knew what she was talking about. She's right. And you could see her like she's still, that woke her up. She looks to the side. And like I said, I was joking, but it's the facts. She's sitting there like, oh, Tony. Like, you know what I mean? Want to see where this goes. This is another important episode. Look at how Tony is affected. It really affected him to the point, but his wife is there, so he couldn't really open up like he wanted to. He had to say a boy from his job and all, you know, from his work, and you wouldn't know him, but we know what he was talking about, and it really affected him. It really affected him, and you know, she, at the very least, she wasn't just only a worker by the time she had been murdered in the eyes of him. All right. Yeah. Another good one next episode.